Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to episode 44 of Monorail Memoirs. Today, we will be ranking all 11 of EPCOT's World Showcase pavilions, and more specifically, these are Lauren's choices, not mine, because I can't begin to fathom how messed up this list is. But before we get into that, Lauren, how are you?
I'm fantastic, thank you, because I'm very excited to talk about my list.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. So let's get down to brass tacks then. The World Showcase makes up half of Epcot. It is the southern portion, but as you look at the map, it's orientated the other way around. It's the furthest through as you wander, and it's designed to be a collection of various countries with proper representation of what the traditional sort of architecture would be like. We get people from those countries to actually be the ambassadors within the park itself, and so it's a really good way to sort of immerse yourself in what is very much a caricature of the culture in question, some of which we'll come on to, especially when we get to the UK pavilion.
Yeah.
But Lauren, before we dive into the exact details, what was your metrics by which you did your list in this order? What was it that was your driving factors?
So mainly things to do. Because it's a park, like you want to be able to interact with the scenes, you want to be able to do something, and you want something tangible almost to be there rather than just, oh yeah, that's pretty, walk past it. So first and foremost, it was, what is there to do? And then I kind of took a little bit of inspiration of the food and drink that are available there, and just the general atmosphere as well. So they were kind of like my 3 pointers.
All right then. Well, let's get into this. So we are going through Lauren's World Showcase tier list. I wish to make that perfectly
I
clear
love
for
how
everyone.
you're highlighting that so much that
It's important that people know. So we're going to start with number 11 then. And 11 on your list, Lauren, you have put right at the bottom. By the way, this is the World Showcase for those who don't know. You've put at the bottom Germany. Why Germany at the bottom, Lauren?
Absolutely. There's sweet nothing there, to be honest. Yes, the caramel shop is nice, but it is just loads of Werther's originals. There's like a strange Christmas section. And then obviously the kind of beer gardeny kind of thing at the end. Yeah, I mean, I've never done that. So I'm led to believe that it is quite cool, but I can't say that I've heard masses about it. I think that it might not be as well known for people who don't understand like the Disney lore and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so that's a lot of the Werther stuff that you can get. But for me, I don't know, it just doesn't hit the spot. I didn't find anything there that I thought, yes, that grabs me in, apart from the big pretzels at the pretzel stand. That's the only thing I can really associate with the Germany pavilion. And now a lot of people are going to come at me for the dining option, but I've never been there, so for me, it's very down on the list.
Yeah, I've not done the beer hall either, but I think, especially during Oktoberfest, that could be quite good fun actually. And goodness knows it's expensive beer in Disney. But you're right. What does the Germany Pavilion really have to offer? There aren't any attractions there. The I will say the traditional German costumes that they wear, the sort of Bavarian costumes, are actually pretty good. But You're right, there's nothing there that would be a draw to keep people outside of really the beer or the. Actually, the Werther's original shop is pretty good. Werther's is a type of German. It's not actually German; it's Swiss, by the way. But Swiss candies, as it were. There's a lot of styles that they can do with different stuff, and I'll show you a picture there of what they did towards Halloween. But yeah, Germany in 11th. You know what? I can't get too upset by it. But we can move on to number 10 now, Lauren. Number 10, you have put Italy. Yes. Why Italy?
Similar vein to me. There's not much there. Yes, the architecture's nice, and you do feel like you're kind of walking through Little Italy. I know that there is that pizza place that a lot of people like. Obviously, I've never been there, so I can't comment. And so I do think that it is very beautiful. But again, it's kind of a quick stop for me. It's kind of like, oh, that's pretty, let's move on to the next thing that I can actually do something with. And also the shops, they don't entice me. They don't have anything cool or exciting in there. I know that's a picture of one of the shops there. I know that there is kind of like a masquerade shop, so where you can see all the beautiful masks and things. But for me, as someone from Europe who lives quite close to Italy, and I've been to Italy, I kind of feel like I've done that and I don't need to see it again.
Yeah, I suppose one of the problems you have with Italy, so Italy as a country it really is split between north and south. It's two very different places. I was in Milan a few years ago, actually, and I mean, the architecture is fantastic. And yes,
Yeah.
Disney does try to replicate some of that. And I do think that it is nice to walk around, and there's a theme that develops with this list, as you'll see as we go through. The countries who don't have attractions generally aren't as high up the list. And
Yeah.
I kind of get it. I kind of get it. And Italy is nice, but you're right. There's nothing there to keep you entertained in the long run.
No.
I nearly said our. It's not our list, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lauren's list. Your next in ninth is, well, as far as I'm concerned, this is blasphemy because you've chosen the United Kingdom in ninth. Why?
Well, I'm from there, so why would it be exciting to go from where I've just been living to somewhere that is a mixed match of different kind of eras and centuries of the place that I am from? It makes no sense to me. Like, I think that it's pretty cool that they've kind of got different things from different eras of England. So there's obviously like a Victorian like style buildings. There's like the thatched hamlet kind of vibes there. I know there's the Rose and Crown pub and the fish and chip shop, but I can get all that at home for like half the price. And it's also not blistering heat at home. So
I think you may have been slightly unfair there in the sense that there's nothing wrong with the pavilion itself.
no.
You just go, oh well, I came from the UK. Now, of course, the UK is one of, I think, the best bathrooms in Epcot. They've been renovated, and we did a whole episode on the best bathrooms in
You're a
Walt Disney World.
connoisseur of the bathrooms in Disney.
A connoisseur of the restroom facilities. That sounds really weird. Like I don't go and take photos or anything. Don't worry, I'm not that sort of weird. But nevertheless, the UK, yes, there is an over reliance on British stereotypes around, especially Twinings tea. We don't all just randomly have Twinings. Yorkshire tea and other tea brands are available. So yeah, the UK quite low down. There's nothing much to do there, but Rose and Crown pub and the Yorkshire Fish and Chip shop. The fish and chips, considering over here, I have discovered you will not get what you would refer to the UK as traditional fish and chips. It doesn't exist. This, however, is small. I think it's like 2 or 3 pieces of battered fish, and you know what? It's all right. It's not what you get in a chippy back home, but it is all right. That is 9th place for the United Kingdom. Next, Lauren, in your 8th place, you have gone for Canada.
Yes. So I feel like this is kind of quite a controversial one. I know that there's the All Canada 360 film that you can watch. I know that there's the steakhouse, and it is quite a beautiful land, but for me, it's the kind of last on the attractions list is All Canada. If I don't do it, I'm not that fussed. There's nothing really much in the shops that excites me, and I don't like steak. so for me, it's kind of like oh yeah, that's pretty. Let's go to the next one kind of attraction.
I need to make a correction for you as well, Lauren. It's not called All Canada.
It's not All Canada anymore.
Canada Far and Wide.
Yeah.
Which, if I'm honest, is a downgrade from All Canada. All Canada with Martin Short was actually really good. Canada Far and Wide, but I'll still watch it. It is, however, the first one on your list that is actually an attraction of sorts.
Yes. Yeah,
I do think that could be improved, if I'm honest. And I know why they have the standing rails. I get it, but so you can actually look around. But some seats wouldn't go too far amiss, even if it's just around the outside. Some seats wouldn't go amiss. So the steakhouse there, I think it's called Le Cellier, gets huge reviews and is well liked. I do think that Canada is probably higher on my list than the UK as well. The shopping options are limited, but it is the attraction. So 8th place with Canada, I don't think is unfair.
Okay.
Your 7th position, however, bearing in mind where most of our viewers are from, your 7th position is the American Pavilion.
And I was toying with it being even lower. But do you know what saved? Do you know what saved it?
Is it the smokehouse?
The Regal Eagle.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
The food at the Regal Eagle is absolutely fantastic, and that is what saves that pavilion. I know that the American Adventure is very patriotic. It's pretty cool in its animatronics and how
it's old in its animatronics.
Yeah, I think it's all pretty cool, to be honest. But for someone who isn't into the whole America, how do I say it? The patriotism. Obviously, I'm from the UK, so I don't
I'm
have
just going to
all
let
of
you
that.
flounder whilst you try to answer this. It's quite funny.
But I'm not patriotic to the USA because I'm just a visitor there.
Lauren, everybody should be patriotic to the USA. That's where most of our viewers are from. So red, white, and blue, stars and stripes, 250th, you name it, sunshine. You're right though. The American Pavilion, it's Regal Eagle Smokehouse is good.
Yes.
It's one of the higher end quick service restaurants, and the price point reflects that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It costs more than Cosmic Rays, for example, or Casey's, for example. But it is a higher tier fast food quick service restaurant. The selection of alcohol there is actually pretty good. I can't get too upset. I'm a fan of ciders and hard ciders. Don't know why, but I just am. Especially in summer, it's very refreshing. So quite a win there. The show, The American Adventure, probably needs a little bit of liquor paint and update. But I do think that overall, I've nothing against the American Pavilion. No. It's just there are other pavilions that are better.
Absolutely.
Which, speaking of, we are now to enter the mid part of your list, where we get to 6th. This is your middle pavilion. You have gone and chosen Japan.
Yes, because whilst there is not an attraction there, I find personally all of the shops, because there is a plethora of shops in the Japan Pavilion, I just absolutely love them. I think they're great. And there's the drummers. I don't know.
Yes.
The drummers at the tower. That's pretty cool. I love watching them. And they do the clam opening for the pearls. I think that's ace. So whilst there isn't an actual ride there, there's still a lot to look at. There's also quite peaceful gardens there, and I just think it's a pretty cool shop to walk around. I know that people would say, oh, it's just a shop, but I quite like it. And then also, as you're showing now, there's Tapenado there.
Tapenado is here.
Yeah, I've never been, but we're going to go soon, and I'm super excited.
We have reservations in April. We will be going. Tapenado is so to clarify, viewer, I made a mistake. Last time that I was in Disney, I ate a Tapenado, and in order to save $10, I got the chicken instead of the beef. There was nothing wrong with the chicken, but the beef was absolutely banging. And so I'm now going back again, paying however much it is, purely so I could get the beef that I didn't get last time. That is a mistake on my part. But yeah, Japan Pavilion, the shop you could easily spend an hour in, just wandering around. There's so much to it. There's also this to the back and left, it's like a little museum-y bit of sort of Japanese folklore, and there is a Pikachu kettle. If anyone's interested, there's a Pikachu kettle, which is quite random, really. But I'm quite a fan of it. You're right. There's no attraction. It is also a good place to get a photograph of Spaceship Earth, because you can through the Japanese arch that's in the World Showcase Lagoon. You get a really good photograph of that, especially at night. And actually, I don't know if you're aware, but our dinner reservations at Tapenado are at 19:30, and so that has been scheduled so that when it finishes, we should be able to go on the balcony or just down the stairs and watch the fireworks. So that's been done on purpose. So that's number 7. Sorry, correction, that was number 6. We're now moving into your top half. We're now going to go to option number 5. This is 5th on your list, and you have selected Morocco.
Yes. So I know this is quite a rogue choice. A lot of people probably would have put Morocco quite further down. However, I love, because I will probably never go to Morocco, so I like how Disney has made it, how you can have a little bit of each country in your vacation. And I just love the architecture. As you can see there, it's absolutely beautiful. It's so serene. You absolutely, when you pass those arches, do not feel like you're in Disney. You feel like you are in some sort of country like Morocco. I know it kind of encapsulates a lot of countries kind of around it, but it basically feels like you're there. And one fact that I always love to say is that no matter how beautiful the architecture is, they always purposefully put in an imperfection, because they believe in their culture that nothing can be perfect, only God. So I absolutely love the fact that they've actually brought that into EPCOT as well. And the tile work is just amazing. And I've also heard that, you know, that quick service that you just showed there, the food apparently is lovely. Like there's hummus and flatbread that I would love to try, because I'm absolutely obsessed with hummus. And yeah, I just think that it's a lovely, calming vibe for a really busy holiday.
Agreed all. I think when you go to the back and you go to what is designed to look like the interior of a courtyard, with a second balcony, you can entirely forget that you are in Central Florida. You are transported. They do such a great job. I personally think Morocco is a little bit of a letdown in the sense that it is sort of, there's nothingness there.
No.
For the same criticisms you have for Italy and Germany, I think are applicable to Morocco. I do think the architecture is a little bit nicer in Morocco. I'll give you that, but to put in my view, to put Morocco ahead of Japan, to put it ahead of Canada, I personally don't see it. But that's why this is your list and not mine.
I think a lot of what came into it for me was the accessibility of the original country as well, almost. So I've been to Italy, I've been to Germany, you know, I can very easily go there, you know, I can fly there for kind of 50 quid, for example, whereas I don't think I would ever be able to get to Morocco, and it is absolutely gorgeous there, that I just think that for someone who probably will never get to see the real thing, that is a good second best.
Yeah, I think it's a fair shout, actually. I do. Morocco is, I've never been to Morocco as the actual country, but the pavilion is lovely, and I do think it has one of the best architectures.
Absolutely.
But that now takes on to choice number 4. This is your 4th place position. You have selected China.
Yes. So I do really like China for very similar reasons as Japan. It's vast. It's very, very big. There's lots and lots of shops, and I absolutely love looking at the Oriental shops. I also really like the quick service. I forget what it's called, but you can get a
Orange
really
Blossom.
nice. Yes, you can get a really nice chicken dish from there. They also obviously have the 360 for China. I can't remember what that's called. It used to be called Reflections of China, but I believe it might have changed.
I thought it still was Reflections of China. Is it
still Reflections of China? I can't remember. But yeah, I quite like that. I know it's another 360 thing that I did kind of critique Canada for, but I feel like this is done slightly better. Yes, that is the food. It is fantastic. I know it's probably not very actually Chinese. It's probably very American Chinese, but I still like it. But yeah, again, just calming vibes. It feels very authentic. I mean, I've never been, so I can't say that it's authentic, but it feels it. And yeah, I just like the vibe of the country.
Yeah, the China pavilion again has good architecture. The shop is not quite as expansive as the Japanese one, but it's suitable. And Reflections of China as a show, I quite like, actually. Yeah. I think it is nice. It does give you a bit of a history of China. Of course, this is by no means a political podcast, nor ever will it be. I do think it's an interesting question that under the current climate, if you were doing World Showcase again, would China be part of it? I don't know, but that's not for us to decide. China is your 4th place option.
Yeah.
We are now getting towards the top 3, the final 3. Your 3rd place option, your bronze medalist, is Mexico.
Yeah, so it had to be in my top 3 because I love the Three Caballeros ride. I think that it's just hilarious. Yes, it's old. Yes, it's outdated. It needs a lick of paint and a bit of an update here and there, but I just think it's really cute. I've never been to the San Angel Inn, but obviously you've been, and the reports from you is that it's lovely. And there's also that tequila shop as well. I forget what it's called. La Cava de Tequila, I think it is.
Good, yeah, something like that.
And I've seen a lot of vloggers go there, and that looks equally quite cool. So I think if I did have the money to spend on Disney food and Disney drink, it's probably somewhere I'd go. Margaritas, you know, that sort of thing. It's all pretty cool, pretty exciting. And yeah, I just think it's a really cute country. In in there. Obviously not the country of Mexico itself, but in the World Showcase, I think it's pretty cute. But yeah, I just think that the ride holds a really dear place in my heart.
Yeah, the Gran Fiesta to Three Habaneros, based off the 1943 film, I think it is. So quite a while ago. But it holds up. The ride is a less annoying version of It's a Small World, I think. The song is catchy. The air conditioning in there is fantastic. Most of the Mexico Pavilion is in the pyramid structure, so it is good. Honestly, I this is probably the first one that I look at and I go, yeah, I can agree with you. Mexico top 3. I am there. It's fantastic. I'm a huge fan. So I've no qualms with where this is. There are, however, only 2 countries left.
Yeah.
And your second place country is Norway.
It is, yes, because I really like the Frozen ride. And I used to like Maelstrom. So I think it possibly would have been my first had it not changed to the Frozen ride and it was still Maelstrom, because I really, really, really liked Maelstrom. But I like the ride track as well, essentially. And also Frozen's pretty cool for the kids. Yeah, I don't know. I just really like it. Obviously, Anna and Elsa there, which has kind of increased the popularity of the Northern Pavilion, which I know that Norway, it wasn't filmed or to be in Norway Frozen. It was just kind of a Scandinavian thing, and Norway have kind of just taken it on the World Showcase and just been like, oh yeah, this is kind of semi-near us. We'll just take this. But I do quite like it. I think that it's highlighted one of the World Showcase pavilions that might not have been highlighted before. People might have just skipped past it. They're actually going to it now. I don't know.
Maelstrom was getting old. There's not two ways about it. Maelstrom was getting old. I liked it though because they used to have a physical sit-down TV show, film at the end that would go through the history of Norway. You're right. Frozen is just based off the book Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. It's not specifically a Norway thing, but if Disney are gonna shoehorn IP into somewhere, that's where it goes.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I get it. My only critique with this point is there is nothing else in the Norway Pavilion that I'm interested in doing.
Yeah.
There's some nice restrooms on the side.
See, this is what I mean. The connoisseur of restrooms.
Don't say it like that. That's weird. But yeah.
I have heard though that the little bakery on the side is quite nice as well.
Fair.
I've never been. I think I would like to try. I think they've got like an ice cream horn there that I think I might like to try.
Okay.
And I know that there is a restaurant there as well that I've never been to. But yeah.
Excellent. Well, we have one choice left, Lauren. You've selected as your number 1 pavilion. I can't believe I'm about to say this. You've selected France.
Yes. Do you know why?
Oh God, I don't, and I'm not sure if I
want. Ride.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's one of my favourite rides.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not. So obviously France is really close to the UK. I've been there loads of times. It definitely does not represent France at the slightest. However, just Remy's Ratatouille Adventure just absolutely skyrockets for me because the ride itself is absolutely fantastic. And also I do quite like the music around the pavilion, the frozen champagne or Prosecco or whatever it is. It won't be Prosecco because that's Italian. You know what I mean? Like the frozen champagne or like the frozen like rosé or whatever it is that they do is pretty cool. And they've also got obviously this
Impressions du France,
which is sometimes actually Beauty and the Beast, which
correct. A Beauty and the Beast sing along, which makes no sense, but still, yes, those are your options. You put France first. I can't buy it. I can't buy it at all. Yeah, it's good. You've done it once, fine. You've done it. It's trackless ride. It's no longer 3D. It's now just 2D, which sort of defeats the point of it all jumping out at you. I think the wait times are regularly an hour plus. I don't see the point. The creperie, I'll be honest, that I can deal with. Quality of restrooms are quite poor around the new part of. They're not big enough around the new part of the France Pavilion. Oh dear! I'm gonna have to do a guide of EPCOT restrooms. I'm not, or am I? So your number one was France. So we tails off your top three of number one was France, two was Norway, three was Mexico. Please, everyone, let us know how wrong this is because I think it's awful. Mine's almost reversed, not quite, but I think it's awful. I think that the emphasis is in the wrong place. I think the logic of, well, Germany's nearby, so it's at the bottom, and then France, which is closer to the UK, is at the top. I don't think it works. We also have we actually have a merch store which is down in the comment section. The in the link to the description there is a t-shirt line and a whole set of merchandise which is the Where is Maelstrom, which is a nice little nod to the Norway Pavilion and the classics there. Let us know how wrong Lauren is, please, because we know that she is. We will be back again next week, as we are every week, to spend more time with you. Thank you for spending your time with us. It is always appreciated. And until then, please stand clear of the doors. Bye, everybody.
Bye.